Hey, everybody, getting set up for tonight's show. So let's just hang out. We'll start at the top of the hour. So we still got about 15 minutes. So let everybody know you're here. Grab a soda or a drink, whatever you like, and we'll start here at about 15 minutes. In about 15 minutes. Let me know what you want to talk about in the comments. Just getting things set up. Scott's not here. He's still in Hawaii and he's watching the game. I'm sure I'm sitting here watching it. 10-point game, 9 minutes to go. Auburn's best player just got hurt. I think I got the phones hooked up. Hello to Corinne. M. Brown 27. I always forget how to say your name. Bean 53, 57. I don't probably say that wrong. I know we're cruising together. Victoria Jane 912. GB Raps. Jen Rose 254. What's going on? Billy. That's right, Billy. We're cruising together in. It'll be on the thing behind me, on this thing. I think we're under 100 days. We're right at 100 days. Hey, Margie. Margie's over on YouTube. Hang on, let me change the font here. We just had hail here, so that's pretty exciting. Let's see. Let's go with that. We got a 10-point game. 9 minutes to go. Let's go with. Let's see. Oh, what a play. No, I don't like that. Let's go with the Dark Particles, it's called. Let's get some tunes going here. Let's see. Let's get the comments. Got some comments. Let me know what you want to talk about tonight. GB Raps, fresh off first cruise and headed to Alani this summer. That's where Scotty G is right now. We'll be talking about that when he gets back here next Sunday. And so, what was your ship and cruise? Let me know. Put it in the comments. You can call tonight, too. That'd be awesome. Oh, hey. Scott can tell you all about Alani. He's been there a couple times now. M. Brown 27 headed to Disneyland 2 weeks. Curious what your must-do quick service restaurants are and must-do snacks. So my favorite snack. Now this is a meat eater snack. There's a little snack shop across from the Matterhorn called Edelweiss Snacks. It's got a bratwurst that's wrapped in a pretzel bun. It is rocking, and you can mobile order it. So get that. That's my favorite snack. Of course, you got to get the corn dog at the Little Red Wagon. Everybody gets that. Churros everywhere of different varieties. Got to get those. And my quick service place that I really like is Red Rose Tavern in Fantasyland. It's just cute. It's kind of like Pinocchio's Village House, but the food is really good. Tiana's Palace back in New Orleans Square has some interesting stuff to eat. I like that. Yeah. If you go to my Instagram, I have pictures. Scroll back in my Instagram pictures at Be Our Guest Mike. I have pictures of all these things. I think I have at least 2 pictures of that brat that I had back in January. What else? You got to get the beignets in New Orleans Square at the Mint. What's it called? Mint Julep Bar. That's good. Man, I wish I was there. GB Raps went on the Dream for a 5-night Marvel Day at Seekers. I love the Dream of the Fantasy. Those are great ships. I'm so pumped to get on the Magic though this summer. I've been on a Magic since it launched in 98, 97, 98, 97, I think it was. First year. And I've been on the Wonder since Mallory was like 7. So I've been on a classic ship in ages. What else? What's everybody else's favorite snacks at Disneyland or quick service places? What am I missing? I think, what do I like? I like smoke jumpers over at DCA. Breakfast, they have a good breakfast burrito. And they have these potatoes that go with it. I know they're just like potatoes, but they have some kind of seasoning on them. I'm super simple. You're a kid, Brandon. You're a kid. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The next year I started teaching. I just play this music so it gets stuck in your head the rest of the week. Because it gets stuck in my head forever. I got the wrong thing on the bottom again. This is not the afternoon hangout. Why do I keep doing that? How about I can do the right thing for once? There we go. When did the 2026 summer sailings get released? They're already released, John Price. They're out there, right? I'm pretty sure they're out there. We have DVC and usually stick with the parks. We're looking at a Disney cruise next year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Am I missing something? I'm pretty sure that the cruises are released for next summer. I think. Unless I can't pull it up right now, but hang on. Let me look. That got me confused. I'm looking on my website, DisneyTravelAgents.com. You can book out through September of 2026 at the moment. Yes. Cruises are available right now through September of 26. Oh, God, I hate when they show injuries in slow motion. Hello, Andrea. Happy Sunday. Yeah, just let me know. Shoot me an email. We'll get you the numbers and the availability. We'll get you on your ship. This right here is a good ship. I don't even read it. It says Disney Treasure. It's the hat they gave all the people on the ship when I went. Oh, Brandon, here's his tip for snacks. Spring roll cart. Oh, this is for Walt Disney World. This isn't for Disneyland, though. Spring roll cart and Gaston cinnamon rolls for his wife. Those are both good Walt Disney World choices if you're going on the East Coast. This game is getting close. 9 points. Scotty G is getting nervous. 7:30 to go. Four daughters and my wife and I. Not a typo. Hey, I get it. I go with my wife and my two daughters, and then when we get one stateroom and it's dinner time, sometimes I have to take my showers down in Senses Spa because I don't get a shot at the shower. I've done that many times during podcast cruises. Oh, good move. Oh, wait, sleeper hit. Mr. Camel's Fries Killer. I don't know those. What am I missing? Because I like fries. Oh my God, that wasn't just a foul. That was a murder. Oh my gosh, it is. Is it this week? Is it? Yeah, I think it is. I can't believe it's April this week. That's right. Today's the last weekend of March. I got to pay attention. Shout out Steve Gallagher too. Hey, Lizzie over on Instagram. Yeah, Billy, you're not getting. That's why I'm doing this to you. I'm just tonight, like while you're just watching 60 Minutes or something, you'll be like watching Sunday Night Baseball. Because all the basketball will be over by the time the show's over. We got 5 minutes till we start the show. 5 minutes. Thanks, M. Brown. You're going to love Disneyland. M. Brown, it is awesome. Mr. Camel's is in the Animal Kingdom. That's why I don't go to the Animal Kingdom as much. I should. And for some reason, if I go to Animal Kingdom, I just get Satuli Canteen lately. And I feel bad because I love Flame Tree. I used to get Flame Tree every time. And it's so good. But ever since Satuli's open, I always go to Satuli because I love that protein bowl. That guy just traveled. He just traveled too. 4-3. Andy got a 3 after that. It always happens. Sean's up in the mitten. Go green. Stay safe, everyone out there. The storms just hit Michigan. Yeah, dude, we had hail 3 different times today. And I was watching Reed Timmer, the storm tracer guy. He was chasing right through Poplar Bluff, where I got a lot of family, right before the show started on my iPad. So that's not good. And they just, like I said, I think I posted it on Facebook. My cousin's wife is a principal at a kindergarten center. She's done that for 26 years. And those storms 2 weeks ago took the entire roof off their school because they got hit by an F4 tornado. So another tornado went through there like 10 minutes ago. So hopefully it didn't do much damage. We'll see. Didn't look like it was a big one. Everybody stay safe. This game is physical. Can't start the show till the top of the hour. It's rules. I'm gonna get in trouble. Hey, what's up, Brooke out in Pennsylvania? She's over on Instagram. EMACIA525 over on Instagram. I can't get it there. Hello. Parker Morgan. Hello. Valerie Shade over on Instagram. Hello. What's going on? They're bringing in Broom again. Everybody's cheering. I can't. I'll look down for a second. They can't be bringing him back in. His arm looked like it was going to fall off. No, they're not bringing him. Oh, they are bringing him in. Holy smokes. My wife would say they just shut him up. Hello, Kayla and Brooke. This will either be, this is going to go one way or the other. Scotty G probably, well, I saw that he went to get tacos at a taco. If you go over to the Discord he has his own channel there for the Must See Adventures. He went to, at halftime, I think he went to go get tacos to try to reset the vibe after that 17-0 run. Oh my God, that was an ugly air ball. So I don't know if he's in a lazy river, but I know that I went to text him to see if he wanted me to call, and he's on do not disturb. So I am not I respect the do not disturb. I am not disturbing my boy. I will not disturb him for at least 24 hours. Hello, Lara. I love that picture of the Millennium Falcon there. That is sweet. We have 2 minutes to the top of the hour. This is what Auburn did to Mizzou. We have a new phone number here in about 4 weeks when Skype goes away. We'll see how that works. Yeah, you know, he's playing with one arm. And he's hitting threes. Something's wrong. Oh, Lord. That'll be in the One Shining Moment video. That's what my wife and I always said. One Shining Moment video? Yep, that's market. SEC is a football conference and basketball. Don't go there. Let's do a show. How do I turn that music off? There we go. That music's annoying anyway. All right, let me mute the TV. That thing's done. Let's see here. Let's put these things so that they're not like jumping around on us and driving us nuts. All right, let's do this here. Let's have a live show. I need your calls. And we'll be talking some Disney. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the VOGP Open Line for Sunday night, March 30th, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or happy Thursday if you're catching us on the replay. Where were you? We were waiting for you on Sunday. Thanks a lot to everybody who's joining us live on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, or Twitch. Yes, we do have one or two crazies that tune in on Twitch, and we appreciate you. You are unique. We are glad you're here on a Sunday night. We're going to be taking your calls for the next hour at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. We've been using that number for over 15 years, but guess what? You do not any longer have to memorize that number because we're only going to be using it for the next 4 weeks or so because we are going to be changing numbers. We have a new number. It is still a 407 area code, and it's going to be it's a good number. I mean, I think it's going to be something easy to remember, but it's going to be going into place here shortly in early May. But Skype's going to go away, so we're going to be changing things up slightly. We're just going to change our phone number, but nothing on your end that you'll notice, just my end. But we will have a new phone number in early May. But until then, we're going to keep riding this number out since 2010 because I've been paying money for this thing forever. So let's use it up till the very last day. So we'll be taking your calls tonight at 407-413-9395. Of course, my boy, the co-host of the show, Scotty G, still living his best life out in Hawaii, and he has made the shift to Disney's Aulani Resort. So he is back in the nice Disney bubble there. I saw this afternoon he was enjoying some tacos there at the halftime of the Michigan State Auburn game to maybe switch up the mojo with that basketball game. Don't know if it's working, but tacos are always the right answer. So shout out Scotty G for that attempt. I like the way he's thinking. We're going to be taking your calls here and just talking Disney. A couple things I want to throw on the table. We had some news from Disney this week. A couple things that maybe we want to talk about, get your thoughts on. Disney announced some discounts this week. Pretty exciting about that. Of course, free dining went live for everybody outside of those folks who carry those Disney Visa cards. Also, Disney's really going after the families this summer, right? They're doing some special stuff for the kids. They're going to have kids zones at Magic Kingdom back in Storybook Circus. They're going to have an area for kids, and they're going to also have an area where Goofy takes over the Communicore hall there and has a little area to interact with kids. What do you think about that? They also said that characters are going to be kind of free roaming in those early morning, early entry times for resort guests only in the parks, where you can kind of just see the characters free roaming and interact with the characters. Is that something that moves a needle for you? Is that something you're excited about this summer? Also, 4 resorts were picked out where the characters are going to be there this summer, especially, and have scheduled times where you can interact with the characters. Here's the 4 resorts they picked: Pop Century, Art of Animation, Wilderness Lodge, and Caribbean Beach. Why do you think they picked those 4? What do you think? Pop Century, Art of Animation, I kind of get it, right? I mean, they seem very character-y to me. Then you got Caribbean Beach. Well, it's in the neighborhood with those other 2. It's right down the street. Maybe the bus is going to go by with the characters. Okay, let's do that. Wilderness Lodge is kind of an outlier. I wonder if they're just trying to drive business there. I don't know. That was a weird one. So I want to get your thoughts. Why did they pick that? What's going on? So we could talk about that. Springtime surprise coming up this next weekend. We have the return of the shoes. Back in the day, I will tell you, up in my closet, I probably have 10 pair of Run Disney sneakers. Now, back in the day, they were New Balance. I had Goofy ones. I had Mickey ones. I had different kinds of Mickey ones. I had like black and white Mickey ones. I had red Mickey ones. I'm trying to remember. The Goofy ones were orange. What else? Other ones did I have? I probably have 10 pair. I probably have 7 or 8 pair, but I have a bunch of them up there. And it was such a rigmarole to get those things. Like I remember one time we had to stand out in a line in ESPN, like in a huge line out in the sun. One time we had to go in a back door and we had to do different kinds of cues. So that's going to happen. Are you excited? We've seen kind of some sneak peeks on social media this week with I think there were mini shoes, like red shoes with mini bows. Are you planning to get these? I believe they're Brooks running this time around. Are you going after the Run Disney Brooks combo shoes at Springtime Surprise? You excited for the races this weekend? Looks like it's going to be hot. So we could talk about that as well. Lots on the table. Let's do it. 407-413-9395. I don't want to have to talk by myself. I already did that with Mike in the Midwest once today. So give me a call, 407-413-9395. Lots of folks are tuned in on all the locations. I can see we got a great crowd tonight, so I appreciate that. So let's get the show rolling, as we say. Hey, who's our first call? Who's joining us?
Hey, Mike, it's Tony up in Green Bay.
Tony, thanks for calling in. How are things in Wisconsin this evening?
You said you had hail going on. We have freezing rain, sleet, changing to snow tonight, so it's going to be quite the mess.
Okay, stay safe and keep that stuff up there. I'm done with this. I'm done with that stuff. No thanks. No way.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Oh God. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, no. It's going to be 55 tomorrow for our high, and I said that's. Yeah, I wore shorts a couple days ago. I'm ready for short season. So whatever, you guys. that's too much. But what's going on? What you got on your mind?
Not much. I was going to call in with a quick trip report. I'd been chatting on Instagram in the pre-show. So we just got back from a 5-night Marvel night at sea on the Dream. It was our first Disney cruise. After hearing you talk about them a lot, we've always been parks people, so we finally took that leap to try it out and absolutely loved it. So very much hooked.
I love hearing first timers experiences with cruises, right? Because you said you were theme park people, first time Disney cruise. What surprised you? Because obviously I'm sure you did research and you had kind of an idea of what you were getting yourself into, but maybe what was something that caught you off guard in a good way, or something maybe that you weren't expecting?
I liked how just chill everything was and how organically things seemed to happen. It reminded me a lot of Disneyland, where, characters are roaming. I know you had talked about like they're bringing that to Disney World now to, probably try to counter Epic a little bit, but just on the ship, you just randomly show up and there's Spider-Man was walking around on random levels and whatnot. So it was really cool to they had the setup meet and greets going on, but then you would just randomly run into them. My daughter loved the kids club. I know Spider-Man went into there and a couple other characters. So they got to have the hands-on interaction that you just don't get that at a theme park. So it was a fully different experience that we like, you can do so much research going into it, but you don't really know what things are going to be like until you're there. And it was just mind-blowing. Every day it was different. It was awesome.
Now, did you guys book it specifically because you're big Marvel fans, or did you just happen upon like it was a Marvel sailing?
So not at all. We're not Marvel fans at all. I'm also a big Run Disney person. So a bunch of my Run Disney friends give me a hard time all the time that I do not watch Marvel movies.
Good.
We had it booked for spring break, which was this past week here, and when the flights went on sale, they were absolutely absurd. So we changed our cruise to a different date. We were like, all right, this date works. It just happened to be a Marvel cruise, which was fine. Like there was Marvel characters walking around the ship. We knew like 2 of them. The rest of them we didn't know. We did one of the meet and greets of Groot. We have seen Guardians, so that one was cool. But the rest of them, like, it kind of gave us more free time because a lot of people were focused then on the characters, especially the kids. So the pools were less busy. Things were, it was a lot more open on the rest of the ship while that stuff specifically was going on.
I never thought about that. It's like the zig and zag kind of, like when everybody else zigs, you can zag. And I mean, if you're not into like it's a themed cruise and say, you know what, I'm playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers, man. Everybody else is going to be doing, going for that. And I'm just going to, the rest of the ship's free. I totally never thought about that.
There was one morning I was running on the deck with deck 4, and I'm running, and also Captain America was walking by, so I stopped, took a quick picture with him and kept going on my run. But so that was one of the few that I recognized from like when I was a kid. I haven't seen any of the movies, but I recognized them from when I was a kid.
Oh man, we're brothers.
But it was cool
because I don't know any of it. Because some of the ships have the Marvel restaurant, right? And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on in that place. Like, I mean, it's like, it's exciting because, stuff blows up. I mean, anybody likes like, stuff blowing up, heroes, I mean, and all that. But, they're showing trivia and who's this and who's related to who. And, I'm like, got me.
Yeah, like having my daughter 7. So like there was a couple characters like Thor, Thor, Loki, like characters that I've heard of and I know what they look like. I don't know anything about them, so I'd be like, "Hey, go take a picture with them." And she's like, "Dad, who is that?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. If we watch the movie, you can see you've met them now."
Yeah, let's just hope they can't talk. Yeah, let's hope they don't ask a lot of questions. Just be like, well, I'm just here for the picture. Exactly. So
yeah, exactly.
You make a good point though. I mean, like I've taken like naps on those deck 4 chairs, like on the Dream and the Fantasy, right? They're great. I mean, and I run on deck 4 too. Don't get me wrong. But I've actually like woken up from a nap because sometimes I happen to take a nap in those chairs that are by. There's actually a door, and I didn't know this at the time, but there's a door where the characters go in and out on deck 4. I just happen to be like, that's just the deck chair I picked, and I woke up from my nap and like Goofy was standing right over me. I'm like, dude, startled me. Like, I mean, scared, he's big. So we got a selfie, right? I mean, just like. But I mean, they're walking right on that deck because I think they come out the door and like walk down the deck a little bit, and then go into like the atrium or what have you. But you're right. I mean, if you're any kind of a character person, man, it is so easy to meet a million characters on a Disney cruise. So easy.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And then on the islands too, we stopped at both islands. We stopped at Nassau. We didn't get off the ship. We just stayed on. So we wanted to explore it, being our first cruise. We want to see more of the ship, and then. The characters were all like Castaway. They're all Lookout. So it was a cool experience to see all that. I did the Castaway K 5K, and then I did a 5K on Lookout because I know you're not a merch guy at Run Disney, but they had the shoe ornament and a shirt, and I couldn't get myself to buy it unless I ran a 5K. So I ran a 5K from the ship.
See, I love that.
And a pro tip: if you run from the ship, you beat all the trams to the beach. I was the first person over there. So if you want to get there first, run there.
I love it. See, they should have like a starter's gun right there from like the ship.
Or, it was only about 1.3 miles from the ship to the beach. So I had to turn around and then go down some paths and stuff to make it work. But we got it done.
So, well, I mean, because I haven't even seen Lookout yet. I'm going for the first time in July with our podcast group. Compare and contrast the 2 islands. I mean, it's your first time for both, so you got 1 and 1. What would you think?
It's quite different. So Castaway is really like, the water is very calm because they have the break there and whatnot. So we did all the snorkeling in there. That was awesome. We did the stingray adventure first in the morning. That was really fun to feed the stingrays. But it was super calm. And then Lookout wasn't rough or anything by that means, but you're facing the ocean, so you don't have the wave breaks and whatnot. But the water was so blue and vibrant, in the sand, like I've never experienced sand like that in my life. I compare it to like walking in powdered sugar. Like it was so white, so soft. It was incredible. So just spending time on the beach there was worth just hanging out versus trying to be on the go and doing things. Just taking it in at such a tropical location was great.
And then you got to go back to the snow. What's up with that?
Yeah, exactly right.
That's not even right. So what about the dining? What was your favorite dining experience on the Dream? What'd you like the best?
It was all good. So I have to eat gluten-free. So that was a big worry for me. We love Disney World. No problem eating gluten-free there. It's honestly one of the safest places I feel anywhere I go because, they'll send the chef out to you, take your order, hand deliver it and everything. So you never really have to worry about anything. And in the cruise, I didn't really know how to go. And in cabanas, basically they told me, pick out what you want on here, write it down. And then they make it in the back and bring it out to me. So there's no cross contamination. And then I'd order my food the night before for the next day, which was great. So I could, order ahead. So my food all came out at the same time as my family. There was nothing to worry about. None of the I can't think of which restaurant I liked the most. The last night we had crab cakes. I forget what restaurant we were in for that, but it was the first time I was able to eat crab cakes in like 10 years since I was diagnosed with celiac disease. So that was a really cool moment. That was one of my favorite foods that I missed. And the wait staff is second to none. So our guy brought out a plate with 2 of them on to start. And then he just starts smiling at me, and he's got another plate behind his back with 2 more. So I had four crab cakes. So that was awesome. Like he had heard me talking about them the night before, so he surprised me with a whole bunch of them, and it was just it's like in the parks, but I feel like on steroids, the magical moments you experience throughout your cruise, just because you're seeing the same people every day, you're seeing the same cast members every day, so you're actually building a relationship in just a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, you're summarizing exactly my feelings with cruise line, because it's more intimate. You have the relationship, and it's like it's intense. I mean, 24 hours on the cruise line, it just you feel like, okay, this is home. Like you get to know the ship real fast. Like I feel comfortable. I know the cruise director's staff. I don't know, like as far as activities, you had kids with you, so you get to, the kids go their way and do a little few things. You get to do some other stuff, maybe in the adult areas. But it doesn't take long to kind of get the lay of the land and really, fall into vacation, like, I mean, within, a few hours, you're just like total 100% vacation mode.
And you get the best of Disney. Like we love going to Disney as a family, to the parks and stuff, but you're always kind of together or whatnot. Like it doesn't sound like it sounds bad that way, but like on the cruise ship, like our daughter was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to the Oceaneers Club."
Yeah.
And we wouldn't see her for 5 hours, and we'd be able to basically have a date and go out to, go to the Tube and go to all the different bars and stuff in there and play the games, play trivia, do the late night games and stuff. And it was great to pick her up at midnight, and she, our daughter's on cloud nine telling us everything she did in there. So it's like everyone gets to have a phenomenal time, and you get to have your alone time and your family together time during the day. So it's a really nice mix of stuff that goes on.
I agree. I mean, Mallory made friends that, when past cruises that, they stayed in touch, like over Snapchat, and social media, years later. I mean, I've told the story on the show before that we went on a cruise this past summer in the Fantasy. We did a 7-night Eastern, she was 17 on the cruise this past summer, but there was, because you can see on Snapchat like that location map thing, where your friends are. She's like, this friend that I cruise with, like, 4 years ago it was one of our podcast cruises. He's on the ship on this cruise, like, and so like that, they connected again on the cruise because I guess they also cruised in the summertime, right? Because I guess his parents were also teachers. And so the only time they could cruise in the summer too, and we always kind of picked the same week. It was always that kind of the week of the 4th of July, and it was same with his family. And they just happened to be on, so like they made these relationships, and so I think the kids do enjoy it, like a little time away and to have their own thing. I mean, we hear that time and time again. So it's kind of a guilt-free thing for the parents, right? I mean, you're not just like dumping the kids into the, like the kid jail. Like the kids are having
and like the
independence.
We didn't realize until day 2 or 3 that so my daughter's 7, that she could check herself in. So like as soon as we found that out, she's like, "Okay, I'm getting up whenever I'm done with dinner," and immediately leave, leaving once she found out she could check herself in.
You're like, dude, you're not driving yet.
But it's independent. She knows where she is on the ship. She knows how to get there and stuff. So it was really cool that way.
It's gotta be rough when they get home, right? It's like, okay, you're still 7 now and you're at home. Like you chill out. You can't have the keys to the car yet. That's awesome. So you guys, I hope you guys get to go again, man. That sounds so fun.
Our cruise, we already booked our next one. We're going on the Wish next April.
Nice.
But our cruise ended the most magical way I think it possibly could. So we got a random message in the Navigator app at like 2:00 on our last full day at sea, and it was inviting us to this special event. You had to show it at the door, like it was like your invite only thing, and it was from the entertainment staff. So I didn't really know what that was. So I had asked Mauricio, who was the head of all the late night games. So we had built a rapport with him throughout the trip. And I asked him like, "Hey, what does this mean?" And he's like, "I don't want to spoil it for you, but don't miss it. But he said we basically made a entertaining cast member's day, and that's how we got invited to it." So on Pirate Night, I was talking to a cast member the entire show. He was, the characters were coming right by us, and my daughter was getting to interact with him. So he got to really know our family in a 20, 30 minute time frame. And then he asked for our room number at the end. And this was day 2, and nothing ever happened in our room. So I'm like, oh, nothing's going to happen, or forgot, whatever. So I'm assuming it was that cast member that recommended us. But so we got to go to this private party. It was us and 4 other families. There was 15 total people there. And it was on the last night of the cruise, and all the characters came in with Donald, Daisy, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, Chip and Dale. And we got to have a photo with all them, and then a full-on dance party for like 10, 15 minutes before the actual like end of cruise party for everyone on the ship. So it was like, I'll never forget my daughter's reaction as all these characters all of a sudden start coming into the room. It was unreal. It was like definitely the most magic moment we've ever had in all of our times going to Disney or anything like that.
I've never even heard of this. I've never heard of this in my life. I love this because it's making a magical moment, and it doesn't take that much more. You know, it's a way for, you know, the crew to honor guests that have gone, you know, that have been a fun part of that sailing, right? And I mean, I'm a Love Boat fan, right? And like, I know this is so stupid, but there's been like Love Boat episodes where like Captain Steubing would say, this person is the guest of the sailing, right? And they would have like, because there'd always be like a captain's gala, like the last night of the sailings on the Love Boat. And I've always thought, you know, that's kind of corny, but that'd be kind of a cool thing, right? To recognize like a guest who had something cool happen during the sailing. I know it probably wouldn't happen in 2025, but like, I love this. Like you made the all-star team for the sailing, and just because they're going to go on and like, you know, all the characters getting together for this final party anyway, but to recognize you for, you know, a few minutes before and, you know, give you that magical moment. And where did it take place? This is so cool.
It was in the D Lounge. I'll send you a picture on Instagram. And we have tons of video of it, but we're in the D Lounge and we're just sitting there and we're looking around and like, there's not many people in here. What is this? Like, what's going on?
That's a big place.
Yep. Yeah. And it was just us in there. And then I forget what the lady's position was. One of the people in like the white outfits, you know, like thanked us for thanked everyone in there for everything. And then she's like, and we have some special guests, and all the characters coming from the back of the room. And, you know, like they come in, everyone, you know, all the kids are losing their minds at it. And each family then took pictures with them. And then the DJs cranked up some music, and it was just a dance party. It was awesome.
That is so cool. Yeah. I mean, you can't beat that. And, you know, it's just, it does. I mean, it kind of seals the deal. The Disney Cruise Line makes those moments. And yeah, I've just said that with a cruise, it's once you kind of pass through that threshold where they announce you onto the ship, you can truly just kind of leave the real world behind you for a little bit, you know. And I don't like that you buy I buy the internet package. I wish I didn't, because I like to share on social media. It's kind of my job, you know, like, you know, I book travel. So I like to show the fun times on cruise, you know, helps my business and helps the podcast and so forth. So I kind of have to do it, I feel, but I still like those days when I used to get on the ship and you couldn't buy the internet wasn't an option, and you just turned your phone into airplane mode and you were cut off from the world for 7 days. And, you know, there was no stress, no fuss. I mean, that's the beauty of cruising. You know what? You just go out there and just detach, and you still do that. I mean, because I don't read the news or anything on my cruise. I just really post. I don't really try to read much.
Yeah, you're just shut off from the world. Like everything is good. You're just on the cruise. You're in cruise mode. You know, like, yeah, it's everything is fine. You don't have to worry about anything. I love it.
Yeah, I don't. Except I do like to look at the forecast, and, you know, the worse the weather is back home, the happier I am when it's 85 and sunny at Castaway Cay, and it's like, if it's 2 below back home, the happier I am, because I just want to be miserable at home when I'm on a tropical island.
Yep.
I mean like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll admit it. I want to be cold. I want to get out of it. Hey, what a great call. I mean, this made my night, and I'm sure our listeners are just loving it, because we have so many people getting ready for their first cruise, and, you know, folks that are curious about cruising, and, you know, big time. And I love that we're just, you and I, man, big time Marvel fans. We gotta get to that next, right? We got to get to that next premiere in our full cosplay or something.
I've been enjoying following off subject too. I've been enjoying following along Scotty Geeks. We're going to Alani for the first time this summer too. So I've been, asking him, and he's been posting things on Instagram, asking him, where's the running trails, and, how, little pointers on what to do once we get there. So it's going to be another fun, brand new Disney experience for us.
Well, give him a yell next Sunday night. But here's the running trails. I don't know, but I mean, taco trucks, shave ice, mixology classes. Let's see, the luau. Dude, he's got all the 411 on that stuff. I guarantee you that.
Love it.
Yeah, well, give us a holler next week, because he'll be dying to talk about it. So, I'm telling you, he wants to talk about it.
Sounds good.
All right, you have a good week, man. Take care, and grab that snow shovel. All right, we'll see you. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Yep.
Bye. All right, 407-413-9395. Phone number 417-413-9395. I love hearing about a first Disney cruise. Any first, Disney experience is always amazing, because, like Scott and I say, you only get to have that first experience one time. I've done a bunch of Disney cruises, but that first one was amazing because the ship was so big. How's this thing ever going to float? You go into the atrium, like, oh my gosh, that chandelier is so big. That staircase is so big. And, once you go on a cruise a few times, it's not like that. So you just, it's awesome to have first time experiences. And that's why I try to stay away from spoilers. All right, let's get to our next call. Hey, who's our next caller?
So you just,
Hello, caller. Who's there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Mike. It's Alfred.
Hey, what's going on, Alfred? What's up?
Hey, not much. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I thought I'd answer a few of your questions.
What do you think about this summer?
I think it's great that the characters are going to be roaming around.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
what do you think was?
I think that's important, like Disneyland.
I hope it is.
Say that again.
I hope it is more like Disneyland, but it's going to be up to guest behavior. I think there's a guests act different in California than they do at Walt Disney World. I think guests at Walt Disney World are more aggressive.
I think that's why it's being done before to try it out first.
Maybe,
Was it resort guests?
That's a good point.
I think that's good. And then the second part was with I guess you want to call them caravans to the resorts.
Yes.
That's great too. And I have a theory about Wilderness Lodge.
Why do you think? Because that was kind of the outlier, because the other three are like in a pod.
Yeah. Yeah. The first three, I think, is great because it's on the Skyliner.
Yep.
So they could take the characters, put them on a Skyliner, and get them around.
Oh, they're not going to put them on a Skyliner. They have a van. I have a picture of it. They go in. It's an RV.
Yeah.
It's an RV.
Yeah, but if they had to, that would be a great option.
They wouldn't do that. They would not put them in a Skyliner bucket.
But I think Wilderness Lodge, because I just feel like it's so, in a way, out of the way. It's not near everything else. That's why they picked that. So, like, if you're at Contemporary or Polynesian or Grand Floridian, they're all on the monorail. So it's a little different there, but Wilderness Lodge is set back a little bit. So I think that's one of the reasons. And I think they want to put it at a moderate, a deluxe, and a value.
Makes sense. But what I was thinking, here's what I was thinking though, if they're going to do like a moderate, a deluxe, and a value, I was thinking, why don't they do the Riviera? Because the Riviera is right there next to the Caribbean beach, and that RV could just go bump right there around that loop. I mean, if it was just simply on like, just make this easy on everybody, we could just go right down that little loop. And then, maybe in 3 months, if this is successful, then we'll, do like the monorail resorts and just do, deluxes for a while. But it was just interesting because Wilderness Lodge was kind of all by itself. But it has to be that they're looking to incentivize people to book at Wilderness Lodge. That has to be the reason.
That's true.
Bottom line, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, but they've been doing this now for a while, where the characters show up at your resort.
Oh yeah. But these are going to have scheduled time. And they've been doing this too lately too, or in some of the resorts where you'll see in the lobby, it'll have like a schedule, say, these characters are meeting at this time. Cause I saw this at Pop Century when I dropped in with my dad, when we were down there early March for the Give Kids World Weekend, and Chip and Dale were there. And so was Minnie, and it had a schedule, like what time they would be in the lobby for meet and greets. And so there's two ways to look at this. And Andrea in the live chat over on Facebook says last week at Epcot, Eeyore, Rafiki, and Big Al were just roaming around over by the Butterfly Garden. So I think it's kind of a new initiative to kind of have these free roaming characters, which I'm all about. I think it looks, and like I saw the other day, Belle was like wandering around France, kind of acting like she was looking for her books, something like that. But
as the people don't go trampling over them, I think it's great.
Right. That's and I think this will continue as long as guests respect the interaction, right? I mean, you can't mob them. But I mean, that's a problem. Like we can't have nice things, sometimes and it doesn't take, if 95% of us do the right thing, we still won't get it because 5% will be too many to screw it up for the rest of us by a long shot.
Yeah.
Then that's just how it is with everything. But here's the other thing, kind of getting back to my point about the scheduling at the resorts. Like some people like the idea that, like, okay, I know that at Pop Century at 9:30 a.m., Chippendale are going to be in the lobby because you can plan for that, right? Okay, Tuesday at 9:30, I can, boom, I know 100% I get to meet Chippendale. Other people like the spontaneity of, if I'm just having a resort day, boom, 6 characters might just show up out of the blue. And I might get not just Chippendale, I might get Mickey, I might get Goofy, I might get Pluto, but there's no guarantee, but they might just come strolling out to the pool. So there's like a yin and a yang, kind of positive and negative. And some people like it that way. Some people don't like the scheduling. It goes both ways. I don't know how
I think it's good to schedule it so that you can be prepared. But then if you run into a character, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. This happened in California when I was there. I forget if it was 5 years ago or 7. I'm not sure exactly. But Belle and the Beast were roaming Fantasyland and got on the carousel. So I did too.
Yep. You see that in the morning.
Just to say I was on the carousel with the characters.
Yep. Yeah, you see that a lot. I saw the Stepsisters this past when I was down there one morning because I was in line for Snow White. The Stepsisters were on it one morning, and Alice and the Mad Hatter another morning were on the carousel. Yeah, it's like a commercial.
I've seen Alice and Mad Hatter walking through also.
Yeah, like they were riding the carousel, and the band was playing, and Bert was dancing with the band. Maybe 50 yards away. I was like, this is. I'm standing in the middle of a Disney commercial.
It makes it so magical in a way.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, and it's not like standing in line waiting. Yeah, it's great to get the autographs and all that, but just to be there and then run into them is like so. It's hard to put into words. It's so great.
Yeah, and for me too, this is kind of just another thing. Like, I don't have to have the interaction with like Alice and the Mad Hatter and the Stepsisters and whoever. Like, I just enjoy seeing Fantasyland alive like that. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing them walking around, seeing Captain Hook across the way, walking past the Storybook Canal boats, or, like the genie just cruising past the, Dumbo the Flying Elephants. Like, it just brings Fantasyland to life. It gives it a pulse. It's so much better that way. I don't have to go get the autograph. It just takes it to the next level.
And I love the fact that now in Galaxy's Edge they've added Luke Skywalker.
Yes, I want to bring that up. So what'd you think about that? Because and also in Disneyland the new kind of projected show from the backside there on the mountains. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I hope they bring Luke to Florida too.
We shall see.
I think that would just make it better.
Yeah, I agree. I know 100% agree. Yeah, that Luke and R2D2 was cool looking with his. I mean, straight out of like Return of the Jedi lightsaber. Yeah, that was cool.
Did you ever hear about the third ride that they were supposed to put into Galaxy's Edge?
I did not, that I can recall. Maybe back a long time ago, but
supposed to be another ride that went around. I'm not sure exactly what it would be like, but I'm like, why did they leave that out? That land could use it.
I agree. They could, I agree. They could use another ride in that land.
Yeah, and it needs a sit-down restaurant.
You mean like a table service restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. The other thing I want to bring up is for Magic Kingdom, I think they need to add a Beauty and the Beast ride like they have out in where is that? Tokyo Disney Sea.
So like a dark ride for that?
Yeah.
Like a dark slow mover?
That would be great. Yeah.
I'd go for that.
such a great movie,
It is.
and I feel like it's underutilized.
I could go for that. You know me. It's
Mm-hmm.
called the Be Our Guest podcast. One of my favorites.
Yep.
I love some Beauty and the Beast. That's one of my favorite movies. Love it.
Me too.
Yep. Good stuff.
So, yep.
Well, hey, good stuff, Alfred. I'm going to jump, but because we're
Yep.
getting close to the top of the hour, but great thoughts. I appreciate talking to you tonight.
Sure.
All right. You take care of yourself.
Great talking to you.
All right. Happy spring.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Hey, who's running the springtime surprise 10-miler weekend? Give me a call. What are you looking forward to in the races? And what are you running? Let's talk about that. So again, 407-413-9395. Also, let's talk about, are those kids' experiences moving the needle for you this summer down at Walt Disney World? Does free dining move the needle for you when it comes to booking a Disney vacation? Do you get a Disney dining plan? Is that something that, we could have this discussion, because it used to be like 10 years ago when free dining was released, it was wild and crazy. And it is still a good deal as long as you use all the credits, especially if you have kids. And especially if you're a character dining person, the Disney dining plan will make sense for you. But I can say that like the frenzy of the Disney dining window opening was way crazier 10 years ago than it was over the past few years. It's not as insane as it used to be. It used to be, I mean, because again, I've lived through this from the travel agent side of things. In years past, I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, for days and days, you didn't sleep. You could not keep up. And it was still super busy, don't get me wrong, during the Disney Visa release and during the general public release last week. Busy, but, and I don't know, maybe it's because social media is now kind of fragmented, and more people back in the day were like focused on, everybody was on Twitter, almost everybody was on Facebook. It was more centralized, or more people were like on one or two message boards, that the message was kind of all in one place and everybody was like talking about it in one place. And it just seemed like the volume was louder. It was more intense. It seems like there wasn't as much buzz for free dining. I don't know how you feel about that. And but it is still a good deal. Maybe we're just not screaming about it anymore because it's just more common 15 years later. Maybe free dining, people were expecting it like, oh, that's what we do every year, a couple times a year. Disney releases free dining. Maybe it's because 10 years ago, we had never heard of a free dining offer. And oh my gosh, it's so new that we lost our minds. Oh my gosh, that's something I've never heard of, a free dining plan. And it was just people going bonkers. And at this point, yeah, it's kind of table stakes. Still a good deal, though. Still a good deal. But you have room discounts. Now we have a ticket offer for kids. We have this ticket that you can't go to the Magic Kingdom with, but you can get a good deal. But if you're going to the Magic Kingdom, it doesn't work, which is kind of I don't know how I feel about that ticket. I'll be honest. I mean, just as a Disney fan, because I don't know if I could go to Walt Disney World without going to the Magic Kingdom. That's me. I don't know how you feel. I guess I could, but if I'm going on a family vacation, like a true vacation, I could not go on a true vacation without going to the Magic Kingdom. But if I'm going down there for like a Run Disney weekend or something, I could be fine, I guess, going to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. I could do that for like a race weekend. I could do that. But if I'm going with like my wife and my kids and we're chilling, we're just going purely for vacation, not to run. Man, the Magic Kingdom, though, I'm a Disney fan. Like, I want to go and see Happily Ever After. I want to go and ride Space Mountain. That's my favorite ride. That's the heart. I want to have corn dog nuggets at Casey's. I want to have a shot. I just discovered those egg rolls in Adventureland. Pirates is there. It'd be hard to buy a ticket where I don't get to go and experience the Magic Kingdom. That's kind of the heart of Walt Disney World. But I understand why they're offering the ticket, because that's that's also that's the trade-off. You get a good deal because you don't get to go there. It keeps people away. It distributes the crowds to the other three parks. That's the incentive. Carolyn over on Facebook says free dining is amazing. We went on both of our trips to Walt Disney World with free dining. It is so expensive to travel to Walt Disney World now with plane tickets and hotel prices. We are currently priced out of going to Disney. And that does happen. Plane tickets, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, right? With the big Southwest changes. Plane tickets you got to really, really shop your plane tickets, because I will say the two biggest costs right now about going to a Disney destination are your plane tickets and your theme park tickets, because you can get really good deals on your hotel rooms at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. I mean, I priced out some hotel rooms at All-Star Sports, Coronado Springs on some offers for people, and the hotel rooms are really, really good deals. The one thing that just doesn't usually go on discount, on sale with Disney, are the tickets. Dining goes on sale, obviously free dining. So you can get good deals on dining, get good deals on hotel rooms, but the tickets. And now they are offering deals on the kids' tickets. And they have the ticket that doesn't go to the Magic Kingdom. So I'm kind of speaking wrong, because they are discounting tickets. You just got to be flexible. But yeah, plane tickets though, I don't know about that, because plane tickets, and now Southwest is messing around, because Southwest is my go-to airline and it's not as great of a deal anymore. Oh, and that's what Rebecca's also saying on Instagram. Plane tickets are a big barrier. And I used to drive all the time because I was scared to fly 10 years ago. Now I wish I was still scared to fly, because it was a lot cheaper to drive back in the day, and it still would be. But now I'm older with an old back, and I don't know if I want to drive 16 hours each way. I couldn't. There's no way I could. I can barely sit in this chair long enough to do this podcast. Rebecca also says over on Instagram, her last trip to the parks, we had 1 day pre-cruise, and we chose to go to Epcot over the Magic Kingdom. Now, see, I can see that. If you only have 1 day, I could see where you wouldn't pick Magic Kingdom. You might pick Epcot because maybe you want to go go to World Showcase, drink around the world, have snacks. That makes sense. But I'm saying, like, if you're on vacation, like this is your vacation, to do like 4 or 5 nights without the Magic Kingdom, with your family, with like kids, that'd be hard for me. Because it wouldn't feel like the thing is, when I left and went home, would I feel like I was on a Disney vacation if I didn't go to the Magic Kingdom? Would I regret it? I think I'm a person who never wants to go home with regrets. And I think if I went home and didn't go to the Magic Kingdom, I'd be like, I was a cheapwad. I should have spent the money on the regular tickets and gone to the Magic Kingdom a couple times. Because the bottom line is, the Magic Kingdom makes me happy. It's got the stuff I like. It's got Casey's. It's got Space Mountain. It's got Happily Ever After. It's got Big Thunder. Well, when it's open, it's got the Haunted Mansion. It's got the stuff I like. It's Rebecca says she hears me. It would be hard. Like, one of those things, like the whole time I'm there, I'd be like out in Seven Seas Lagoon, like looking at it like, I see you, Magic Kingdom, but I can't go in you because I didn't buy the right ticket, because I was cheap. And I'd be driving by the monorail. I see you, train station, but I can't go past the ticket booths. It'd be rough. Like, I have a picture. So the first time I went to Disneyland in 22, we got 5-day park hopper tickets, and this was before Lightning Lane. And, but we got there the day. So we were there for 7 nights, but we got 5-day park hopper tickets. That's the longest ticket you can get at Disneyland with your package. And so we got there the first day, and we're staying at the Disneyland Hotel. So the first day we got there in the afternoon. So we didn't go into the parks the first day. We're going to go the next 5 days. And the last day we're flying home. So the first day we didn't have tickets. So we just did downtown Disney and went to the, stuff like that. I was like so excited. I was finally at Disneyland. So of course, first thing I did was walk through downtown Disney, and walk up to the gates of Disneyland to see the train station. And literally at Disneyland, if you've never been there, this is amazing. You can walk like right up to like there's gates. There's like an iron gate, like by the entry points. And you can just like look through the fence, and you are literally maybe 15 yards from the train station. And I was just like, I've waited my whole life to go to Disneyland. I got to wait one more sleep. Like I'm here. Like I can see the train. It's right there. There's the train. There's the flower Mickey that I've seen my whole life and all the videos. Like I can hear Disneyland. I can hear the stuff happening on the other side of the train station. Like I am physically here, but I'm on the other side of the fence. I can't go in until tomorrow because I don't use my ticket yet. And my wife got the greatest picture because my head is like jammed into the fence. I'm like up on my tiptoes. Like I'm just like longing to go into Disneyland. I mean, it's just a picture of this 48, 49-year-old guy that is just like a 5-year-old. Like I am so close to be into Disneyland. I've waited all this time in my life. I've traveled all the way from Missouri, figuratively and metaphorically. I am so close to being at Disneyland, but I got to wait one more day. And that's how I think I'd be at Walt Disney World if I bought that ticket. I'm like, oh, even though I've been in the Magic Kingdom all these times, I'm like, but my corn dog nuggets and my Sleepy Hollow sandwich, even though I probably wouldn't even enjoy it as much. Like it's just the fact that I couldn't. Yeah, it'd be tough. And like Carolyn says, she's coming all the way from California. There's no way she's coming without going to the Magic Kingdom. Exactly. If you're coming all that way, you're in for a pound, in for a penny, I think is the saying, right? You got to kind of do that. So, all right, 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. Anybody wants to call in? Last chance. If not, we're going to call it a night and wrap the show for the week. But Scotty G will be back next week. He'll be, the guy's going to have a glow about him, right? Because he's spent over a week in Hawaii and the last good part of it at Aulani. So he'll have plenty to share about everything happening at Disney's DVC resort out of the islands. He'll have lots to talk about. They went to the luau. They did a mixology class. He was out there with friends Jody from the show, another friend from the Discord. He hung out with their family for a bit. He had a good time out there. So we'll be talking about that. Any other news that happens this week? Of course, we'll be taking your calls about that. We have a great show for you. If you're listening live on tomorrow's podcast on Monday, we talked to Superstar from the Discord, from the Clubhouse, Julie from Scotland. She stayed up late with us, and we get her take on her 2-week vacation to Walt Disney World with her family. They stayed at Caribbean Beach for a week and then Coronado Springs for a week during a hurricane. So we had so much to talk about, and we laughed more than we laughed, and she read my mind a couple times. We're both kind of main characters. Let's just say that. You'll catch that at the end of the show. So it's going to be a great show for you on Monday's podcast. Hope you enjoy that. But I appreciate you guys so much. I love doing these call-in shows. Hope you guys always have fun with them too. And I hope you guys enjoy all the podcasts. And if there's ever anything we can do better, you guys, please just let me know. My email is always mike@beourguestpodcast.com. All right, we'll do this again next Sunday night. So 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central is where when you can tune in. You can tune in at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. And our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. If you want to support the podcast, the best way to do that is to book a vacation with us at the Magic for Less. Because when you do that, that's how I make my living. That's how I pay for the podcast, all this hosting, everything that comes out of my pocket. And that's how I make a living. And that's how we keep the show going. So just book your next trip. You're going to get first-class concierge level service each and every time. So all you got to do is swing by the Magic for Less Travel. And while you're there, you can check out all the great tips over on the website and fill out the free no obligation quote. We'll take care of you from there. Anybody that mentions the podcast, the quote comes to me. You and I'll be working together on that trip. Again, so check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, you can support the show by using our Amazon affiliate link. When you shop online, this is super simple. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Takes you right back to the Amazon page. Any shopping you do, we get a small commission on that purchase. Doesn't cost you anything extra. And it keeps us going. So please do that if you can. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And you can support us on Patreon. That's just a $5 support each month. And that, again, goes all back into our video hosting, our audio hosting, our bandwidth, our website hosting, all that stuff. And for that, I try to thank you with a bonus show every week that I do on Sunday mornings called Mike in the Midwest. I just catch up with all of our patrons and talk to you about stories from my childhood and what's going on behind the scenes. So if you want to get onto that, just come over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow me on the social media at beourguestmike. I'm mostly on Instagram and X, but you can also follow me on Threads as well. And of course, the place I want to catch up with you is our Clubhouse, our Discord server. It is free for everybody all the time. everybody's welcome. Come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. We talk about all things Disney. We also talk about all things life. We got a sports center channel. We talk about all kinds of sports in live, in real time when things are happening. We talk about, we got the living room channel. We just talk about life. We share stories. If we're in the Dairy Queen drive-thru and we see something funny, we talk about that. We talk about our pets. We talk about shopping finds. We have travel hacks, anything you want. So come on over, join us, be a part of the family over there. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, time to get out of here. Until we meet again next Sunday night, I hope you enjoy the shows this week. I appreciate you guys so much. Glad you're a part of the family. So for Scott, Ricky, and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All righty, I will see you guys later. We got a fun show for you coming tomorrow, so join me tomorrow afternoon, and we'll record another trip report. Bye, guys.